Well, thank you so much for this class. I think we all really learned a lot. This is 660 marketing. Um, and in this class, four groups actually embarked on an 8-year strategy session to better understand marketing and better understand the marketing dynamics and product positioning that go into this field. Um, for our first slide, I just wanted to quickly share with you some of our KPIs as far as how well our last 8 periods have gone. If you look on the left, um, our SPI is there compared to other groups, and that's our stock price index, and we're quite a bit lower than other groups. So, and this is from period 6 to period 8. So it looks like we could have done a bit better job, and we'll go into exactly what we could have done in a little bit. The market share is in the center. 14% was our firm statin, so we're in blue. Again, we could have done a little bit better. But encouragingly, the stock price index from period 4 to period 8 was quite good. We actually more than doubled our stock price index from period 5 to period 8. So we're already learning some best tips and practices to improve. The brands and revenues are here as well. So the top selling brands are on the far left, and fortunately we didn't make it into there. But had we gone on a little bit longer, I think we would have done a bit better. Brand revenues for Soft and Solo and So are there as well. So 40 million and 25 million. So we feel that's quite good, but we could have done better. Interestingly, if you look at the top selling brands by volume, we did quite good with our soft brand, so we're second with 300 million. So we had some room for improvement, but also at the same time, I think we learned a lot in this class, and that's more important than anything else. The distribution is available for your peruse as well. The brands are on the left side, so Soft, Solo, and So. So we're basically looking at a market share for the specialty stores, mass merchandising, and online. As you can see, mass merchandising for Soft in particular did quite well. I'm not sure if that's how we advertised or if that's our employee placement. I think it's just a matter of luck after looking at all of these things specifically, and we'll go into a little bit more detail a little bit later. And distribution coverage is on the left, so this is the amount of access our consumers have to our products at each store, at each store type, I should say. So specialty stores, mass merch, online, those are all there for you to look at as well. Um, Now we feel that purchase intention by consumer segment was quite important. Um, so we're thinking about what our customers feel about our products. And if you look at Soft and Shoppers or Solo and Shoppers, we did quite well. In particular, if you look at Soft and Savers, um, those consumers are most likely to buy our products. So what we potentially could have done instead is spread that around a little bit and potentially used money a bit elsewhere, which we can talk about a little bit later. Perhaps there's some R&D projects or there's some other things that we could have done with our money to improve our overall market share and some of our KPIs that we've talked about. Now, market share by segment is on the right, so the brands Soft, Solo, and So are there. And so this is the market share by each segment, and it really reflects the purchase intention as well. So 12% in Solo for Shoppers is pretty consistent across, and there's some things that are dissimilar as well, but you can see those there. So lessons learned. We wanted to highlight our keys of success. We had a high brand awareness, which can be a double-edged sword, right? Because if your brand is too highly aware among consumers, and if it's not leading to more sales, it could be problematic, and potentially our money could have been invested elsewhere. Our high intention to purchase was also pretty high, especially for Soft, so those are exciting things to see. But overall, low market share was a bit low, and as we mentioned before, we had difficulties with SPI and revenue as well. So what we think we could have done better is we could have introduced more products. I think other groups had 7 or 8 products. We only had 3, so we could have introduced more products, and that would have helped our overall market share. And we could also have gotten into the Vodite market, which would have been really important and really intriguing to see how we could have potentially done better and improve our positioning if we had done that. And then I wanted to discuss the R&D to modify products as well. We'll go into this a little bit when we talk about multidimensional scaling and semantic scaling as well. I think if we used R&D to modify products, we could have improved along some of those metrics. But we'll go into that in a little bit more detail a little bit later. Our segmentation strategy is here as well. Over time, we really wanted to invest and try to spread this out, but you can see that shoppers among solos, for example, is quite high at 40%, and the shoppers really like us. So what we could have done is potentially thought about this in a little bit better way and reinvested some of our capital a little differently. We could have, in fact, used our advertising budget to influence more diverse groups of consumers to purchase our product and improved some metrics that go along with that. Now, our price followed the exact recommended retail price, and that may have been problematic in retrospect, because if you're thinking about savers and you're thinking about shoppers, potentially they would have preferred a cheaper product compared to the recommended retail price. But for period 8, those recommended retail prices are there: $211, $335, and $250 for each of the brands. And we really feel like we could have lowered that a little bit, or thought about things differently in terms of strategy to have a competitive advantage. Previous segmentation research shows that we were high on shoppers and savers, so we could have spread that out and perhaps undercut other firms by lowering the price. In terms of our product, so we're thinking about how it's made and how it's sold. Semantic scales on the bottom left we focus most of our advertising energy on battery and design for all of our brands. We could have spread that out a little bit and potentially look for other ways to have better positioning or better market competition. So also, our multidimensional scaling reveals that we really went after economy for consumers, and we could have improved in those other areas, including performance, convenience. And as we mentioned, we potentially could have used more R&D projects to modify projects to improve these scores and potentially add better functionality around displays and processing power, and even the number of features, which was particularly bad. And really, we could have focused on performance and convenience of our products as well. R&D projects can do that, and they're good at that, so we should have utilized that a little bit better. And thinking about forward, if we were to do more periods, we could definitely utilize that in the future as lessons learned. So here's the places that we were advertising: specialty stores, mass merch, and online stores. We were pretty consistent with this all the way throughout, and that's reflected on the right side. If you look at overall, specialty stores and mass merch are more influential as far as where consumers are purchasing, not just for our brand and products, but for more globally as well. And then online stores are a little bit less, so potentially what we could do in the future is, if we see online stores creep up and sales overall more broadly, then we can use these metrics to increase our visibility and our efforts into selling online as well. Now this is our last slide. So for promotion, we really wanted to emphasize that we did well at brand awareness, but this is could be problematic because we really feel like we could have used some of our capital elsewhere, and we could have thought about things differently, and we could have done more R&D projects and advertised in a way that was a little bit more efficient when you look at the scaling and the semantic things as well. So if you look at Soft and Solo, they did quite well. We're top 2 out of the 3 top at 61 and 59%. And then our period 8 advertising really puts it in perspective. This is just for period 8, but we really follow this pattern. It's about 2.6 million for soft, 2.6 million for solo, and about 950,000 for so-so. So we think we could have done a bit better in when it comes to that, using that financial capital to think about other things we could have done with it. And with that, we're really grateful for this opportunity to do this course and to understand a little bit more how to bring a product to market and market it in a way that's going to be appealing and appetizing to our consumer base, and also make the most sense when it comes to our competition as well. And so with that, we hope everybody has a good summer, and thank you so much.